Are you gonna run again in 28?
So, okay,
I tried to be subtle, but I just figured I'd go right
well,
at
that's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be. We love you for many things, but not being subtle. Listen, I might. I'm thinking about it.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Man, oh man. Sorry to start it off in such a scary way by showing her face and you having to hear that voice. Ugh. But you saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. She's back? Huh? Ugh. Before we get into that, before we step into that turd, talking about Kamala is like standing in front of a fresh turd, like still steaming, still 98.6 degrees, and you're barefoot and you're going to step in it and watch it come up between your toes like the Play-Doh spaghetti factory. Like that, you know you're about to step into a warm pile of shit. You know it. But you're going to do it anyway. And we're going to do it together. We're both going to step in that fresh pile of dog shit called Kamala Harris's run for the presidency. She says she's thinking about it. I might, I might, she's in front of a bunch of black folks. The National Action Network. I believe that's the one that, or no, was that Push? Rainbow? I don't know, some shit. That the form that the recently deceased Jesse Jackson was in charge of. But I think this might be Al Sharpton. So it's all one big fucking tax scam. But she's in front of a bunch of black folks, so she has a we love Al Sharpton. We love you for a lot of things, but being subtle ain't one of them. Ugh. Doug Emhoff, he has to be gay. Because how do you maintain an erection with that cackling in your face? How? It's impossible. So therefore, he's gay. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to tackle that one. Kamala Harris making a run for the presidency once again. You guys, you don't understand. She politically was curb stomped. She was politically American history X in front of the country. Donald Trump made her bite the curb and he said, this is for the people, love the people. It was like 320 electoral college votes to like 216. If she was ahead, it was like in the first 5 minutes after the polls closed. It was bad. It would be like Donald Trump 150, Kamala Harris 75. Like she was getting whooped thoroughly all night long. All night long. Lionel Richie would have been proud. Donald Trump was whooping her ass all night. He was stomping a mud hole in her anus. Another one all night long. But she wants more. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. I see you. You are felt. You are loved. You are heard. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. In a perfect world, there will be as many thumbs up as there are people watching this. 20 Masholo says, Kamala Gavin 2028. Ugh, that's disgusting. Like, how do you wash? Someone Google washing your eyeballs. Because I need to after seeing that sentence. Ugh. Would they put that out there? Would they put her on atop the ticket over Gavin Bang Your Wife Newsom? And he would totally be the beta male to just bend over and spread his butt cheeks just like Tim Walz did and say, yeah, I'll run behind a lady. Yeah, we need a strong black. Shut the fuck up. And they got their California ties to each other. I believe she was the AG. No, she started off as district attorney of San Francisco. I'm not sure if because Willie Brown was the mayor then, because she was, putting in those late nights, putting in overtime. When Willie Brown was mayor, and I think Newsom was mayor of San Francisco when she was AG for California, I believe. But they have their California ties. They're both from California. I believe their political paths crisscrossed at some point, which is a bad thing because, yeah, you guys have California in common. Look what happened to it. Look what you did to it. Gavin Newsom, are you serious? But they are banking on the fact that a lot of people will forget about that or not know about it in the first place. And let's be honest, they're going to be targeting the ladies. They're going to be targeting your downstairs because Gavin Newsom is charismatic. He's handsome. He's polished. He has all of the mannerisms that let you know, hey, ladies, I have a penis, but I'm not a threat. I'm one of the guys that you can pick in the forest. I'm not like the bear. He's one of those guys, the way he crosses his legs, that deep leg cross, like he doesn't have testicles. Like, man, you can cross your legs. There's I'm not saying, oh, man, you can't do this. Of course, there's a way for a man to cross his legs, but that deep leg cross that Gavin Newsom does, which is basically the equivalent of like a dog, when the alpha dog comes around, they just kind of roll on their back and whimper and make sure their little pink lipstick doesn't come out because that's a sign of aggression. So he's rolling on his back. Oh, look at me, ladies. I'm a male feminist. His wife, holy shit. You think Gavin Newsom's bad? His wife is nuttier than squirrel shit. That woman is insane. He definitely wears her new jeans to stretch them out for her. And her new pumps. He models her clothes for her when she gets home. I mean, I got some clips. Don't worry, I got proof. But his wife is fucking crazy. She talks about giving her boys dolls and changing. You'll see. You'll see. But will that be on the ticket? Will Gavin Newsom, the feckless beta male who, even though he doesn't need to because he's a guy, he still tapes his dick and balls back. His wife makes him tape his dick and balls back onto his taint. It hurt at first, but now he's just used to it. He does it himself now. She doesn't even have to tell him. She used to do it herself. He'd hear that duct tape rip down the hallway and he'd start getting scared. But now he's like, he goes and gets it himself. He just tapes his dick and balls firmly to his taint so they don't move all day when he's doing his deep. So when he's doing his interviews and he's doing his deep leg cross and he's doing his hand gestures like he's voguing like fucking Madonna in 1992. Like in his former life, he was an air traffic controller because he's just the hand motions and all this kind of shit that he does. And his storytelling, he could be in front of anyone and weave a tale, especially the Negro. Especially the simple-minded Negro. All he has to do is get in front of them and say, yeah, man, I used to eat syrup sandwiches and shit, you know what I'm saying? My mom's, my pops wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? I was just, just a little kid in the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, ride the bus and shit. And they're like, oh, fuck, he's invited to the cookout. What cookout is this? If it's a cookout with a bunch of you Negroes, I don't want to go. Oh, Gavin Newsom, wait. Then he gets up in front of a bunch of black folks and says, yo, check this out, man. I'm just as dumb as you motherfuckers are, you know what I'm saying? I got a low-ass SAT score, too. I was like a 700, you know what I mean? I was dumb as fuck. Just like y'all. I can't read. He's like, you notice I don't never read no motherfucking speeches, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm too stupid and shit. Just like you. I'm just as dumb as you motherfuckers are, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised he didn't have his a hat on sideways with a big old clock like flavor. You know what I'm saying? Up in this motherfucker. And everybody's like, oh, fuck. He's down. He's down. And they're going to vote for him. And all those stupid women who fall for that bullshit, they're going to vote for him. There's a video that came out a few years ago of Gavin Newsom. I think he's talking about paying minimum wage people $20 an hour to fuck your order up. And there were like 5 or 6 women around him, and they were all just like stars in their eyes. I think if the camera panned down, you would see that they were floating about this high off the ground. They weren't even touching the ground. They were like, oh, Gavin. And their vaginas were all moist, and they wanted to have his children. It was disgusting. Those women are going to vote for him. But hopefully it'll be like last time when Kamala ran against Trump, and more women said, no, I'm good. More women said, I don't want to murder my kids on demand. I'll be more responsible. I'll be a better steward of my vagina. Vagina. Yeah, vagina. So, well, that bitch run. Also, Iran war. Ceasefire. And I purposely waited to talk about this at the end of the week because I want to see what would happen. You know, ceasefires get called all the time. They get violated all the time. There's been some of that. There's been some confusion about that. We'll try to get through it. Some people are still saying that Trump is doing Israel's bidding, but there's a ceasefire. So I don't know. I know some people who believe that Israel is firmly in control of this conflict, what we do concerning this conflict, and what we do concerning our everyday business as America. Black folks, sorry, white people, I'm not talking to you guys right now. This one apparently is specifically for people with my skin color. Sorry, guys. I didn't make the rules. Joe Rogan and Theo Von did. They say that they know that black folks are scared now. And they know why. So black folks in the comments listening to this, watching this, if you didn't know, you're scared. And Joe Rogan and Theo Von are going to tell you why. Therefore, you can stop being scared. Once you know the source of the fear that you're apparently gripped by, you could do something to stop it. Sweet Mama G, what's up? And thankfully, because I was wondering, why am I so scared? And then they're like, this is why. I'm like, thanks, guys. Sheldon, what's up? Bumblebee Tuna. Excuse me, your balls are showing. Also, Canada. If there's any Canadians in the comment section, explain your home country. What the fuck? You guys, remember the LGBTQ, all that, and then it was LGBTQIA, and then it was LGBTQIA plus. Forget all that. There's about 12 fucking letters now, and this Canadian official is going to tell you all of them, and it's crazy shit. Audrey, that's an old name. We need more Audreys. We need more old names out there, not this new age crazy shit. Audrey, hold on, let me go back. Says United States consumer sentiment has plunged to an all-time low in the data that was just released today. Yeah, understandable. I would think it would be a little more positive, being that there is a ceasefire, but we'll see what happens. It's only, a day old. And once we really see that the dust is settled and this is a real ceasefire, hopefully, then that consumer sentiment will start to go up. Because that will be good. The Straits of Hormuz open, gas prices go down, unless you're in California. And they'll go down in California. They're going to go down everywhere. But California will still be the highest by far. Right now, we're almost $6 a gallon. Some places over $6 a gallon. You know, if you're going to like Chevron, Shell, the name, what I call the name brand gas stations, yeah, you're paying above $6, $6.09, $6.10, something like that. If you can find it cheap, you'll get it around $5 a gallon. Super lucky if you get it in the $4.90s. Then you're doing something. I think I saw $4.99 somewhere, but it was like a gas station, some off-brand gas station right next to Walmart. So, you know, you can find those kind of places. I know I stopped at a 7-Eleven the other day. It was like $5.09 for the cheap shit. So, yeah. And I think the rest of the country, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday I heard that it hit like over $4 or $4 a gallon nationwide average. You're lucky. I wish I was paying $4 a gallon, $3.99 for some gas. What Californians? Tell them how awesome that would be if we were paying $3 a gallon for gas. People might be dancing in the streets. You know, in some foreign country when a dictator gets killed and they're like, people will put their phone to the window and you hear people honking their horns and shit and screaming in the streets. That's what it would be like in California if the gas was $3 a gallon. There would be a statewide celebration. Know all sides of the argument. Thank you very much for the $4.99. A hilarious fact of the day: when hashtag Stop Asian Hate emerged recently again, someone commented, quote, "Who is hating on Asians?" Then the post disappeared. Exactly. And if you go back to the original, again, thank you for that. Know all sides of the argument. But if you go back to when Stop Asian Hate was a thing, and they were getting that legislation passed, you would hear things, and this is serious, this is literally, you would hear things like, New York City, Asian hate crimes have gone up 800%. In Los Angeles, California, Asian hate crimes have gone up 500%. What does that make you think? What visions are dancing in your head like the candy in that Christmas song? What visions are you thinking? What are conjured in your mind when you hear Asian hate is up 800%, Asian hate is up 500%? These are real numbers. These are articles that printed these numbers, websites that printed these numbers. What does that make you think? That makes you think that Asian people can't even step outside. Asian people can't walk down the street. Holy shit, they're up 800%. That means on every corner, down every street, in every alleyway, Asians are just getting clubbed over their head, roughed up, beaten about the ears, simply for being Asian. There are mobs. Do you know what it would have to look like outside for those kind of numbers to be true? Angry mobs. Ah, there he is. Get him. To hit those kind of numbers would actually probably be a good thing. Hear me out. In order for Asian hate to be up 800%, 500%, there would have to be racial unity between blacks, whites, and others in order to go out and get all these Asians to make those numbers true. So in a way, I guess it'd be some good that comes out of it. People would get together. We'd have to get these kind of numbers. But then when you look into the numbers, it went up 800%. So it was 3 instances, and now it's 7 or some shit like that. It would be like some low-ass number. And of course, that's terrible. You don't want people to experience any kind of racial hate. You don't want that. But what are we talking here? Are we talking somebody in traffic? You fucking this or that. What, you can't fucking see? Yeah. Right? Is that what we're talking? Are we talking like some beatings, some vandalism? Did some Chinese restaurant get their window broke? And the insurance agent was like, hey, you know you'll get more money if you say it was a hate crime. Like, what the fuck are we talking here? What kind of Asian hate are we talking? Because for it to go from 3 to 9, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, there's a jump. But again, what's the level? What's the severity of these Asian hate crimes? Let's take a case-by-case basis. No, man. I was driving down the road. I cut some dude off. He called me some, fucking, what's one of those? What's one of those Asian racial slurs that you're always going to hear in any movie that takes place during World War II? Like the American sailors have come on shore. Hey, fucking slopehead. That kind of shit. You killed my grandpa, fucker. You know, is that what we're talking about here? Todd Adams, thank you. So I just paid $7.59 in Bridgeport, California. It's a mono county. Man, $7.59. It's not even summer yet, folks. They haven't really bent us over. They haven't really bent us over and gave it to us all the way to the bristle. It's coming. California, yeah, it's insane. So you saw that, people, $7.59. Now what? Now, how do you feel about your $3.59 or your $4 you're paying in the Midwest somewhere or on the East Coast? You want $7.59? But it's the bullshit taxes. You know, in gasoline in California, there have to be certain additives that are environmentally friendly because like we have to be stewards of the environment. Even though the rest of the country isn't doing this bullshit, it's not like all of the rest of the country's bad emissions just stop at this invisible border in California and just go upward in other places. It can't go to California because they got clean emissions in their fuel. It fucking goes everywhere. That's why the whole recycling industry is a scam. So you mean to tell me, and today was trash day this morning. I have 3 trash cans on my sidewalk on trash day. 3. Meanwhile, in the Ganges River, somebody's dumping raw sewage and a dead body in it. Meanwhile, in a factory outside of Beijing, China, there's an underground coal fire that's been burning for 25 years. But here I am making 2 trips up and down the driveway to make sure I put out my garbage, my recycling, and my organic waste. Meanwhile, the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck. The rest of the world is just dumping toxic waste in the streets. And here we are at 6 a.m. hearing the garbage man because and hopping out of bed close to a heart attack because we didn't put down the blue trash can. We only put down the gray one. Bitch, please. The John Beck, thank you for the $2. He says, happy Friday, suckers. Same to you. Not the sucker part, because I was like, so rude. So rude. Moving on. There's a sheriff's department. That reminded me of Reno 911. That's how they would start. Sheriff's department. There's a sheriff's department in North Carolina, and it's called Mecklenburg County, I believe. And they put out a video recently highlighting some of the females in their sheriff's department. And it was a collection of grandmas and ladies who like the lower half of their face to be shiny, if you know what I mean. The kind of lady who wishes she had a mustache or she could savor that flavor. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you're lying. You know what that Tom Selleck can be used for. So that's it. That's all of the women in that department look like grandmas and lesbians. And that's fine. If you want to give grandmas jobs and lesbians jobs, Lord knows this is America. You want to work, dadgummit, we got a place for you. But maybe not in law enforcement. And if they are in law enforcement, why aren't they just relegated to the office? I believe that women in law enforcement should be treated like women in combat. Supporting roles, not the front lines. Supporting roles. Not out there. One of them has a canine. Male officers. How do you feel when you call for backup and officer 5'4", 110 pounds shows up? Yeah, bro, man, dude, I saw a video. I think it was 2 females. Maybe you saw a different one, but it was like 2 female cops. It was in a restaurant. They couldn't get a dude down, and the guy had to come out of the back, out of the kitchen, and throw this dude on the ground. With ease, by the way. With ease. Threw him to the ground. These ladies are struggling. This dude wasn't no muscle-bound so-and-so. This was a regular dude. Dumped him on the ground real quick and easy. Easy. Emphasis on easy. He didn't struggle. He came out there like, huh, where? Oh, yeah. Good douche. All right. I'm going to go take my break. I'll be back in 15. Like that. Didn't stress. Here's this guy. Bink. Right on his helmet. I'm gonna go in the back and smoke a cigarette by the dumpster. And these ladies were, sir, making no progress. They didn't get him down to one knee, nothing. This guy was fighting. And the guy wasn't really fighting him. He just wasn't going down. It was like if your sister, you know, your younger sister, she's 13 now or 14, so like, I can take you. Or vice versa. If your older sister, you're 13 or 14 now. She thinks she can still take you. She goes, watch. And you're just standing there. She's like, Mom. And you're not moving. That's what it was like. If he really wanted to, he could have went. Let's see. Which one of you wants 6 months of liquid diet? Here. Bam! You come here. Don't run. I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to dump you on the back of your skull. You're going to get good parking for the rest of your life. Could do. That's what he could have done if he wanted to. But he was a nice guy and he was just, give me your, sir, put your hand. And this dude with this much law enforcement training, this much takedown training, him, come on. I think that women should just be in support roles. That's how it is in the military. In the military, my mom, what did you say about my mama? My mom was a nurse in these United States Army for 10 years. She was a nurse. You know what you call that? Support role. Also, even though you're in a supporting role, you still need to be able to handle your business. You still need to be trained. You still need to maintain a certain level of physical prowess, even though you're in the office. Because what happens if shit hits the fan and you have to grab an AR and defend something? What if there's an attack on the precinct and all the fellas are out there fighting crime and you ladies are left at the precinct? You can't have a bunch of memas in this bitch who can't run down the hall to safety or who can't shoot. This shit is sad. They're still in law enforcement. In the military, just because you're in a supporting role, don't you still have physical readiness standards? Don't you still have to do PT every so often? For those of you who don't know, physical training to make sure that you're meeting the military's physical standard. There's obviously no physical standard at this department. Then they post this shit, people rip it apart, rightfully so. And then you have the punk ass sheriff coming out talking about, man, you can't be talking about our women like that. That's so sad. And blah, blah, blah. What are you talking about? What's sad is the type of officer that you're putting out on the street. And I don't care if this chick has braids and she likes to lick vagina and she wears baggy shorts. And she's always been one of the guys. And she has a tattoo on her forearm. And she likes sports too. And she grew up with brothers. I don't give a fuck. Once a month, you got a leak. You're still a lady. You still got a puss. You're still weaker than us. Mentally, you're weaker than us when it comes to violence. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Well, there's some... Yeah, how many women out there can hang with one of these dudes? And I'm talking about, in this specific instance, we're talking about women, but that also goes for male cops too. You can't look like no fucking pack of biscuits after they bust open in that fucking uniform. There's some big old fat sloppy ass dudes who are cops too, and that is disgusting. It's worse because you're a man and you're held to a higher standard. What kind of fucking police department has fat cops? And I saw one dude wasn't fat. He's tangling with a tweaker. Ask any cop who they'd want to tangle with, and they would pick a frail ass tweaker. This dude is trying to wrestle down a tweaker on a bike. He gets the tweaker off his bike, but he can't get the tweaker down because he's too tired. He was some older dude. You could tell he had the salt and pepper up top. He's probably in his 50s, probably a sergeant. Couldn't get the tweaker down. The tweaker ends up getting back on his bike and pedaling away. And the officer can barely make it back to his vehicle. That video was so bad that that officer had to drive straight home. He didn't go back to the department. He didn't turn his gun in. He didn't take his uniform off. He had to drive straight home. Somebody had to come pick up that car because he can never go back to that precinct. You can never show your face again in that precinct after that shit happened. So fellas are bad too. But today, we're talking about the broads. And this shit was a fucking travesty. Are you? You guys think I'm joking, don't you? You think I play with your asshole? I mean, you think I'm asshole who's playing? Yes. Okay. Okay. This shit. This is the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office. Ladies, take it away.
Hey, I'm Sheree DeLeon, and I have the privilege of being a major here at the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office.
Right, I'm Sergeant Danae Wilson, Supervisor of Recruitment Division.
I'm Captain Nesbitt, Training Center.
Major Talford, Officer of Professional Compliance. Captain T. Williams, Officer of Professional Compliance. Sergeant L. Preacher, OP.
Stop!
See?
Good morning, I'm Major Barnes, Overfield Operations.
That's one of the ones they'll tell you, oh, no, man, she's this and that. She's tough. She's badass. Get out of here. Rather have a dude.
Good morning, I'm Captain Hutley, Field Operations Beecher.
Good morning, I'm Captain Betty.
Yeah, he's still got vagina on their breath. Look at, what is she? 5 foot, 109 pounds. Look at, she's small next to another female. And she's a captain.
Field Division D shift.
Field Division D shift. Put your hands up, Mr. Perpetrator. Oh, going up, sir.
Oh, man, you know her dishwasher, the top level of her dishwasher is full of dildos.
I'm Deputy Hall with the K9 unit.
I'm Deputy Hall with the K9 unit. I'm tall for a woman, so they gave me this spot, even though a man half my size would kick my ass.
This is my partner, Ella.
Everybody, I'm definitely wearing this. Is my.
Come on! She's 5'5", 117, and that's with all that shit on. You mean to tell me there's not a male out there that'd be a better officer than her? You're struggling with a suspect, you call for backup, and this shows up? Fuck out of here.
Partner K number.
Even the dog's like, fuck. Grandma!
Field Chief of Staff.
Woman, if you don't get back there in the kitchen and make me the best sweet potato pie I've ever had in my life, I bet Thanksgiving at her house is something to behold. I bet she has to bring in the plastic fold-up tables out of the garage for all that food to fit on it. Now, when we're talking about Thanksgiving dinner or a mean cornbread recipe, Miss Lady Ma'am, I'm coming to you. But if we're talking law enforcement, I am not.
Administrative support. I'm Sparkles Barack Gordon.
Sparkles. And woman, you look.
Supervisor for Community Engagement.
Celeste Youngblood, Chief of Detention.
We found the puss eater final boss. We found the head puss eater. She's the one who hands out all the dildos to the new recruits. Go on, Marsha Warfield. Stop
I'm
it.
Major Drum, and I'm
That woman is probably the nicest woman in America. She looks like if you were at a like some kind of public event, maybe some kind of show or something like that. Let's say you're at like a 4th of July parade and you can't find a good spot. You know she's been down there on that parade route since 3 a.m. We've been coming down here since 1965 when we met our senior year in high school. This same spot. He proposed to me right here. That lady's been down there since the summer of 65. Fold up chairs in the same spot. You come looking around. Oh, sweetheart, you don't have nowhere to sit. Bill, get him an extra chair. We always bring an extra chair because we've been coming down here since 1965. Bill, when was the first year we came down here? Summer of 65. I knew it was summer of 65. Here, have a seat, sweetheart. You hungry? Bill, get the potato salad. We just wrapped up potato salad and the ribs. I will make you a plate, honey. It is just fine. Bill, that woman is the nicest. If you look in the nicest woman in America Hall of Fame, she has like 10 pictures in a row. Law enforcement? No, thank you.
Captain Haley, and we're over the court division.
I bet that lady is probably, she looks so bright and happy. She's probably really nice to her kids. She probably sings to her kids to put them to sleep every night. These are wonderful, nice women. And I'm sure their grandkids love the hell out of them. I'm sure the grandkids love to go to Meemaw's house. But I don't want Meemaw on the streets. I don't want Meemaw having a gun. And I don't want the women who couldn't quite make the WNBA team out there on the streets. This one right here is 5x5. She looks like Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters when he has the suit on. Get the fuck out of here. She looks tall. She's probably 5'7". This is ridiculous. This lady right here, I would leave my kids to her. Bill, these poor kids, they don't have nowhere to live. We got an extra bedroom upstairs. Matter of fact, we have 2. You can have your room. You'll have your room. Bill, go out there in the garage. Walmart had a sale on flat screen TVs. They're going to put a TV in your room, TV in your room. I'm leaving my kids to you. I don't even know your name. You're fucking nice. Get out of here with this shit. Why are they putting these women on the front lines? Why would you do that? Not only is it fucked up for the public, but also the officers they have to work with. I just saw a video the other day. A female officer pulled her gun and shot some dude. The male officer was wrestling with him. Instead of getting down there with him, and this wasn't a big guy, he wasn't on PCP. Instead of her getting down there with that officer making a difference, she pulls her gun and shoots the dude. I guarantee you a male officer would have got down on the ground and helped his partner, and they would have subdued that guy in record time as a team. She pulled her gun out and shot the dude. That is so stupid. But that's what happens when you put these chicks out there. These aren't Ronda Rousey. This isn't Gina Carano. This isn't Cyborg. This isn't some big Nordic chick with the 2 dots above her, the letter in her name. The name of that escapes me right now, but I know what the word is. That's not what we're talking here. Even if we were, yeah, she would be abnormally big, and she might be the exception to the rule, but you're talking one exception out of thousands. Stop it. I got another one for you too. Come on. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. And this chick is going through, it's a video. Social media is a double-edged sword. I do not want officers, like maybe on a community level, yeah, you want there to be some humanity to your officers. You want them to be connected to the community, but this shit is too much. It's not only showing that, yeah, these officers are human too, but it's like, no, we're a bunch of silly gooses, just like everybody else. No, I don't want that shit. I want a certain level of seriousness to my law enforcement professionals. Not here. Not at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. We don't do serious. We only do silly. This chick. So she just got sprayed in her face with pepper spray, and she's supposed to wipe it away. And she had these two towels in her waistband, these two washcloths. She pulls them out, wipes her eyes, and then starts this course, like she's been pepper sprayed and she still has to do things. You'll see. But she should not be in the program. Roll it.
Holy cow. Hi, my name's Riley, and this is me before OC.
Hey! Foot pursuit, go get him. Get him fight.
Holy cow.
I'm going to say, you do it. Comment section, you take it. Go ahead. Hit her.
Open your eyes.
Hold on, let me turn this music off. Copyright. Go ahead, girl. Well, tourniquet. Get it. Yeah, like they should be doing that kind of shit, like medical shit. What? What the? Is that what you want the cop to look like that's showing up to help you? I want tough looking cops. I want in shape cops. I want, if you see him out of the uniform, you look like a cop. That's what I want. Boy Scouts. In shape Boy Scouts. Not this shit. This is Walmart. This is some frumpy ass stay at home mom. She looks like she's a single mom and her kids, all they eat is fucking red Gatorade and Takis for breakfast. Fuck out of here. Look at that. Lady, you look like that all you want. I'm not fat shaming or whatever. If you're a regular citizen, I don't care what you look like. That's between you and your man. But this shit, you're supposed to be a cop? So she gets this guy on her own and she approaches him to put the cuffs on. What's he going to do? He's going to spin around and knock you smooth the fuck out and take your gun. Fucking disgrace. A disgrace. A disgrace. Wow. Wow. Let me find find out something here. How many police officers are killed in the line of duty every year in America?
Around 100 to 150 law enforcement officers are killed in the line of duty each year in the U.S. In 2025, there were 111 deaths, which is a
Damn, it's fucked up. How many American servicemen and women are killed every year during peacetime in America?
On average, about 1,000 or more American service members die each year from non-combat causes, which include accidents, suicides, and illnesses.
Damn. One more. How many police officers are in the United States of America?
There are over 700,000 sworn law enforcement officers in the United States.
So you have 700,000 police officers in the United States, but 100 to 150 of them are killed in the line of duty. For some reason, they didn't break that down between accidents, suicides, and I guess murders by the hands of perpetrators or whatever. But you have about 2 million servicemen and women. So, both a lot die, as far as the percentage. That's no bueno. Well, let's see. So, no, not really. See, what, less than 1% of law enforcement die every year? Let's see. And I'd say even less for the military. So why when you have the same, I guess, rules of engagement, for lack of a better term, for police officers? Because police officers get in shootouts, they get ambushed. I'd say they definitely have probably more hand-to-hand combat experience. The frequency of dealing with people. Let's say you're in the Army and you're a cook. You're not going to have any hand-to-hand combat experience as a cook or, a clerk of some kind, or, some job like that. When a police officer, if you're on the streets, you're going to take somebody down or tussle with somebody or something like that. But I'm just wondering why you wouldn't have those same rules for women in law enforcement. Support roles, stay off the front lines. I think that'd be better for everybody, because women just aren't built for that shit. Joy Dowdy says, I remember the first time Trump was in office, right at the end of his term before Joe Biden took over. It was $1.98, and that was the highest price. And I live in Central Texas. Those were the days. And Trump said the Straits of Hormuz are open, but then I saw a True Social post where he said that there are rumors that Iran is charging ships to go through there. He said that that's true. They better stop right now. Oh boy. That's no bueno. We'll talk about that though. And let me... WTF. I'm trying to find something here. Because the next thing one of the next things I want to talk about is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan and Theo Von. Like, Joe Rogan was cool. I mean, I'm still a fan, like his podcast and stuff like that. And it was cool when he had Trump on there. I think that definitely helped Trump get the presidency. You go on the most popular podcast in the world. That's going to have a pretty positive effect for you. So he's cool. But, you know, then he still has that bleeding heart because I think his dad, he was raised by his mom. I know his dad was like abusive and shit, and I think he drank or something like that. I'm not sure if his dad was always around, but he has the signs of somebody who's raised by their mama, you know, bleeding heart. Oh, but the people and the poor people and all the people needed people. He definitely has some of that in him. And like with Bill Maher, you know, occasionally he'll say some shit and you're like, hey, yeah, you're not a total jackass. And then they'll, you know, next show you're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Oh, that's right. You do have that dummy in you. You do have jackass in your blood. I forgot. So I think that's definitely one of the things with Joe Rogan. But he and Theo Vaughn, Theo Vaughn was a guest of his. Trying to because of course, same thing as last time. I don't know what the fuck. Last time I had a problem. I was sending an email. And it wouldn't go through. And then after the show, I go and look and the email went through. Why is that? Somebody explain to me why it takes an email so long to reach you sometimes. That's so weird. I'm sure somebody out there knows. But I'm like, what the fuck, man? I tried to send it to myself and it didn't show up till like, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes later or whatever. It like really hurt. It hurt bad. So why is that? Go on, explain it to me. Hey, let's giggle while we're waiting. While we're waiting for the email, why don't we laugh at some fucking Australians, mate? Crikey, look at the size of that beer. It's not a knife. It's a knife, right? Crikey. Anyway, so these guys in Australia, there's some kind of like man retreat thing you can do where it's like a place for men to get out their anger, you know, because the stress of life and all that kind of stuff. And that is true. You know, men, we do need an outlet, you know, to relieve that pressure valve, to release some stress. We do it in various ways, you know, in the vagina. Hang with your boys, you go shooting, golfing, sports, whatever, hobbies, whatever you can do to kind of zone out. Or maybe you need to go break something. That's why I mentioned shooting, you know, something, play a sport, something to physically get that out. I understand that. That's cool. And men, all men need that. But this way, I don't know. No. I don't know if I'd ever do this. I don't know if I'd ever go to like a Mousy. That's not cool. He says Obama does it in his gay friends. He does. I'm going to take it out, all my frustration on their butthole. That's what Mike does to me. Sonny Singh, what up, man? Oh, man. He says eating samosas and watching JG live. It's a good Friday. Tis, mate. Tis. But I don't know if I do this. You guys tell me. What do you think about these fellas just kind of going out in the forest and just getting it out of their system?
Let it take you.
Fucking down, but don't leave. Try this. Come on, man. What the fuck? Where is it? Where's the... Ah! Motherfucker! Ah! Damn! Fuck off.
What the fuck, mate? Yeah, would you try that out here, mate? Well, yeah, mate. I don't know, fellas. Maybe it's because American. I don't do that kind of shit, man. That shit looks queer. Carlos Love had the same question I had when I first saw that. He said, what the hell are they doing? And I think they're just getting out their anger and their frustration, you know, from day-to-day life or whatever. They need to go out with the fellas in the woods and just pound it out, mate. Yeah, take it out on that pillow there, mate. Crikey. Take that tennis racket, mate. Hit it right there on the pillow, mate.
Let it take you. Fucking down, but not me. Try this. Come on, man. What the fuck? Where is it?
Try this. What the fuck? Try this. What the fuck, man?
Ladies, does an Australian accent turn you on? Because it turns some women on, because obviously Australian people keep making more Australian people. Told Adam say, I think they all have vaginas. What do you mean, mate? So obviously there's some women in the world, maybe Australian women don't realize because everybody there sounds like them. You want to fucking go out, mate? Fuck that here, mate. All right, Sharon Ogden says, yeah, a little. All right, cool. I knew it worked on somebody. Like I said, Australian people keep making more Australians.
Yeah, that's right there, Sheila. When I take you back to my house, you're going to get naked, mate. Want to get all crazy, mate.
I guess so. If they slowed it down, got a little beep on it. I don't know. But that shit just looks ridiculous. And what's worse than that, what's worse than those, whatever, to each their own. I just think it looks fucking silly. But what's worse than that is the people who would be like, you're just not in touch with your feminine side. Like those, like saying those guys are somehow more evolved. Those guys are somehow more evolved because they go out there and do fucking girl shit like that, like screaming into their pillow. Sharon Ogden says Crocodile Dundee was hot. I definitely understand how the ladies think that. And yeah, he was a sex symbol. He's out there killing crocodiles with a fucking knife. He's standing up for the environment, shooting at those poachers. Oh, you want to frisk fucking lunch out of here, mate? He dives in the water with a fucking sharpened stick and catches a fish and grills it on the beach. Yeah, I can see why the ladies are stripping their undies off for that. But I think what made Crocodile Dundee so fucking hot, mate, so fucking hot out here, is all the stuff I just named, because he was a manly man. I think any man could do those things and be hot. I certainly don't think it was his accent. I certainly don't think his accent was a plus. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't like men. You do. You know more about liking men than me. But I just don't think that accent lends itself to a moistened downstairs, is what I'm trying to say. Now we got Gigi in here. Oh, yeah, he was hot. Ladies, chill the... Hey, calm down. Go fucking take an ice bath, ladies. Chill out. Don't get all hot and bothered in here. See what you started, Sharon? Now you got all the ladies in here steaming up their glasses. Chill out. Get a hold of yourselves. Crikey. All right, that's enough. You guys are a fucking bad influence. Oh, you guys want to see? You guys want to see a leftist progressive speaking of pussy guys, I already know your answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you guys want to see a leftist progressive pussy protester fuck with somebody he shouldn't have fucked with and then get dealt with immediately? Okay, fine. That's what we'll do. Fine. That's exactly what we'll do. I'm going to show you a video of a punk bitch who thought, I'm just going to hit this dude in his face. And maybe you guys can explain to me what makes dudes like this do things like this. I was on a live stream I did a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. Yeah, maybe a couple months ago, whatever, recently. And this guy was at an anti-ICE rally. He had like an American or Trump flag or whatever he's waving around, but he was just walking through. Like, not like, excuse me. Like, they were here and he walked like in front of them. This dude comes up to him and knocks his glasses off his face. Why would you do that to somebody? Why would you do it to another man? And you can't fight. Why would you start a fight and you can't fight? Why would you start SH and you're not built for IT? Why would you write a check that your body's not able to cash? That thing's going to come due. Somebody's going to take that check and like, oh shit, I'll cash that in. Then you have to have the funds. And if you don't have the funds, the check's not going to bounce. You're going to bounce off the pavement. Sorry, the John Beck. Yeah, umlaut. Thank you very much. That is the word. LOL, Big Bertha with 3 umlauts. Yeah. Inga Bertha Pieten Biergen. She has a strong grip because she's been milking sheep for cheese since she was 3. Umlaut. Thank you. Yeah, those are the kind of women who should even consider being cops. And I'm not even saying they're built for that. I'm just saying if we're going to consider them, they would have to be some large Nordic woman, like a St. Pauli girl. Not that frumpy, dumpy Cinnabon with the utility belt on. That's right, Carlos. Beta. That's amazing. I met Jesse Lee Peterson once. Great dude. Funny. But that don't make no damn sense. Why would you do that and you can't fight? I don't know. Because the guy who did that, he knocks the dude's glasses off his head. And then the guy just commences to knocking you out. And then who else? You get knocked out. Who? You? You get knocked out. Then these dudes start getting up. The first guy, he comes back for more. Okay, boop, duck that. Bing. You want some more too? Bing. He's knocking the left and right. Dudes are falling. Why would you do that and you can't fight? I'm not going to tell all these people, oh, I'm such a good cook. Come to my house for dinner and I can't cook. Now you all show up hungry and I don't know how to make anything. Why are you going to put your hands on somebody and you can't handle putting your hands on somebody? I don't know. You tell me. You look at this. This jackass talk shit, which is fine. Talk shit. He wasn't even that good at it. But then he smacks this dude in his face, just backhanded, like knocks his hat off. That's another thing. You knock a man's hat off his head, that's another level of disrespect. My son has done that before. We'll be roughhousing, and he'll take my hat off. Don't take my hat off. I don't know why that's a sign of disrespect. You don't take a man's fucking hat off his head. You don't knock it off of his head. That's what homeboy did, and he paid the price. It wasn't nice.
Dicks, and that's why we support this shit.
Okay.
Bitch.
Oh, wow. That's not okay. And you assaulted him, man. We got that shit on camera. Now you're going to go down. Now it's going to be a problem for you, man.
Camera broken.
He's somebody, man. You know, he's.
Oh, man, he sat on top. Hold on. So many signs in this video We'll go through all of them. Right here, he's talking shit. He says, we have tiny dicks. That's why we put up with this shit. As he's talking about these guys out here. He's an anti-fucking ICE protester.
Dicks, and that's why we support this shit.
Boom, right there. Number one, he knocks the hat off the dude's head. I think if he would have said, oh shit, I'm sorry, he could have apologized his way out of it, but he did not. You'll see next, he has a smirk on his face like he didn't expect it to get serious.
Okay. Bitch. Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look at the smirk on his face. His hands are down. In no way does he know anything about fighting. Anybody that knows anything about fighting, once you knock a dude's hat off his head, you better take the fighting stance. You better take a defensive position because it's coming. He did it. Hands smirking, hands at his side, not prepared for what he started. I don't get it.
Okay.
Smacks him. Look at that. Then he walks up. The dude still look at that. The dude could have put his right hand on him and smashed you with a left because your hand's not up. You're just going to fix your glasses. You're not blocking your face. You're not taking a fighting position. It's a no kings rally, even worse. The only thing worse than an anti-ICE rally is a no kings rally. Look at these older people. There's older people in the background. This dude has salt and pepper hair. You're supposed to be too old to be that fucking dumb. And this young dude who's about to whoop your ass is smarter than you. And I think the guy that he knocked his hat off, the reason he didn't slap him so hard is because he was like, what the? You just fucking, oh no.
Yeah, you assaulted.
Still don't have your hands up ready to fight. You're grabbing on that dude's arm like you're having a dream. You know, in your dream, you go to hit something you can't hit hard, and you're grabbing on something, you wake up, and you're grabbing on something else. You're grabbing that dude's arm like you're in it with dream strength. And nowhere are you prepared to fight. You've never been in a fight. And for some reason, you think it's okay to go up to a perfect stranger and knock his fucking hat off his head. I don't understand that. But he's about to understand.
Hey man, we got that shit on camera.
Now
you're gonna go down. It's gonna be a.
He's getting you in the perfect. This is textbook. This is what he's been practicing in class for as long as he's been taking class. Whatever judo, jujitsu, whatever class he was taking. This is the perfect. Okay, you grab me right here, then get your feet. Because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't realize that this dude is putting you in the perfect position to slam the shit out of you. And because you're so unprepared and never been in a fight, you don't see any of the signs. It's like, fellas, when your wife tries to wrestle with you, they're totally unprepared. You throw a few fake punches, they don't know how to block them. They're still dazed by the fake punches. You've already grabbed them in the optimal position to slam them on the couch. Or if you have one of those big bean bags, you're not going to hurt them. But it's going to be easy, just like this.
Problem for you, man.
Look at that. He got his feet in the perfect. You still don't know what's going on. Now, right there with that slam, you can see his camera's broken in half and his spirit is broken in half. Because that knocked all of the preconceived notions out of him. Oh, shit, this is serious. Probably knocked the wind out of him, too, if we're being honest. What a dumbass. And to even fight, to even pick a fight with that expensive piece of equipment. Anybody who's been in a fight will probably take that off first. Nope. Now you're easily put in a position for that. That dude was about to sit down on him, push him down flat on the ground, hold him down with his non-dominant hand, and then soften his mouth with his dominant hand.
Eat somebody, man. You know, eat somebody.
We have tiny dicks, and that's why we support this shit.
Okay. Bitch. Oh, wow. That's not okay.
And you call him a bitch? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you assaulted him, man. We got that shit on camera. Now you're going to go down. It's going to be a problem for you, man.
Good night. Oh. There you go. That's why I was trying to pause it. See, this guy, wind's knocked out of him, probably hit the back of his head. He's disoriented. You see him grabbing the guy's leg with his left arm, still dream grabbing. That's not going to do anything. The guy's already on top of him. He's going to push him down on the ground and fuck him. Boom, boom, boom. Good fight. Good night. What show is that from, guys? Let's see how old you are. Good fight. Good night. The fuck was that dude thinking? Gino Panzini. Poopita, popita, poopita. He says, I'm 160 pounds. I had a guy put me in a headlock. I lifted him up and slammed him on the grass. Years of watching WWE. Yeah, and that'll take all the fight out of someone. You slam somebody on the ground, that's harder than any punch you could ever hit them with. That's disorienting. That'll scramble your fucking eggs. Mental medalist wife. I agree. He wanted I don't think he wanted a fight. He just wanted to do some stupid shit. That's what I think. Because he didn't know shit about fighting. Exactly, Gino. Classic hip toss. You learn that the first 3 days of taking jiu-jitsu or judo, anything like that. One of the first things you learn is a hip toss. And it's devastating. You hip toss somebody, you can knock the wind out of them. You could hit the back of their head on the ground. You could, just like that guy did, you slam him, then you just get right on top of him. That dude, in jiu-jitsu, that's called full mount. When you get on top of somebody that and straddle them like you're in a horse saddle, that's called a full mount. That's hard to deal with if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and somebody got you in a full mount and you throw in the fact that you're a punk bitch who's totally unprepared, oh, shit. That's right, Gino, ground and pound. He got him on the ground. Now it's time for the pound. That's where the video cut out. Cut out right before the pound. He's going to take that dude's face to Pound Town. What an idiot. What makes guys think that you can do that? Is it because you never been in a fight? Maybe you never had no older brothers. I don't know what kind of neighborhood you lived in. He probably was raised by a bunch of women in some kind of fucking commune where they have compost piles everywhere. Jay Dougherty says, my wife likes the full mount. Hey, keep it in your pants, Tiger. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. What a dumbass. Just what the fuck? I don't get it. I was telling my daughter the other day, we were boxing in the backyard. Not like fighting, but we were training. And I told her, I said, one thing you never do, you never let anybody get up in your face. Because we were working on pivoting, you know, turning around, keeping them in front of you, pivoting, throw your combo, pivot, roll, slip, all that stuff. And I said, what if somebody had you, there's a wall behind you, and they're getting up in your face? What do? I said, you pivot. You try to pivot and stay out of it, but if you get to a place where you can't, you got to go to work. But you never let somebody get up in your face. She's like, what do I do if they're trying to get in my face? I said, you keep your distance. You back up. You put your arm up. You never let somebody get within striking distance. Because I said, then he can hit you with one of these, hit you with a left, a right, uppercut. Nah, fuck that. Heather Berry says, no, Dad. What do you mean, no? Am I teaching her wrong? Tell me. Oh, no, he had no dad. You're right. I'm sorry. I just thought about that. Yeah, he had no dad. Yeah, he had two moms at least, maybe three. And they raised him, you know, he was just surrounded by chicks all the time. He turned into a little chick. Yeah, mental medalist wife, she says, my dad taught me how to fight. I've told her before, you know, you're a girl and chances of you getting in a fight are pretty slim. Women just aren't violent like that. I said, but if you do, you're going to be prepared. If you do, it's going to be over quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I want to give her those skills. Same with my son, where we train too. But yeah, I'm like, oh, hell no, girl. You're going to have the ability to fight. And my daughter's very kind, and maybe she doesn't want, I know she doesn't want to fight. I said, but someday when you need to, you're going to. Yeah, Ronda Rousey used to use that move constantly. Yeah, it's classic. And you look at jiu-jitsu, you watch all these UFC fights, these guys, all these black belts and these Brazilian dudes, and you got the guys that come from like Eastern Europe and shit, the Islam brothers, or what the fuck those guys are called. They all have the cleft palate because there's no medical technology in their country. But anyway, you watch those guys, and most of the fights are ended with moves that you learn in the beginning of taking jiu-jitsu, like an armbar. Classic, put your feet over, one foot on their chest, one foot like over their neck, trap their arm, raise your hips. Classic, standard, elementary armbar. Choke, and rear naked choke. You learn that in the first 2 weeks of jiu-jitsu. Triangle choke. Basic shit, but effective, destructive. I'm telling you, a good hip toss and you're outside on the pavement, man, please. If it doesn't take all the fight out of somebody, it'll take most of it, especially you landing on top of them with your weight and you get on top of them before they even know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a riggedy wrap. But I do not understand what makes these fucking dudes think that they can get out there and literally start shit with dudes who, whoops, they know how to fight. Bing, bang, boom, there goes your teeth. Oh, no, now we got it. Now you're sitting up saying, what happened? If you ask what happened, you got knocked out. Let's see, let me check one more time. One more time. One more time. Let me check. One more time. Man, he's about to fuck that dude up. Oh, he was about to pound that dude's face into hamburger. He was about to fucking smash that dude. And you know what? He deserves it. Because who the fuck do you think you are to come knock a dude's hat off his head and call him a bitch? Bruh. And you don't need to be no badass. You don't need to be no trained fighter. I'm talking a regular dude with some anger in his heart would have fucking smashed homeboy. Smashed him. No problem. How many problems? 0 problems. And I really want to... Okay, let me do this. Because I really, really, really want to play this Joe Rogan, Theo Von clip. Because it's another example. So last week on the live stream, I showed you the video of the people at the No Kings rally, protest, as they call it, and the old white lady who was saying, black people shouldn't be out here. They'll be arrested by the police. We need to protest in their stead. You know, we need to be out here for the poor little scared Negro because the cops are trying to kill him and they're scared. Oh my God, no, please protect me, virtuous white liberal female. The worst thing that ever happened to this world, by the way. And I was telling you and showing you, more importantly, that is the new racist. The pink pussy hat, systemic racism, DEI, it's not their fault. That is the new racist. That is the new white hood and fucking pickup truck, man, not my town. That's the new racist. That's the person they tell you, you know, they tell you need to be afraid of the Trump supporter and the white man and all that type of shit. But nope, not it. Okay, here it is. Booyakasha. So here is Theo Von. He's on the Joe Rogan podcast. And they are talking about, you know, the war, whatever, Trump. And then they do something that I'm kind of happy they do. They tell black folks why they're scared. Thank you. I was wondering why. I was every day, I'm like, why am I so fucking scared? And then these guys are like, this is why. So I'm like, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for telling me why I'm scared. The nerve But then Joe, what up, Diesel? And Joe Rogan and oh damn, it feels good to be a Raider. He says you forgot patriarchy. Don't worry, we'll get to some patriarchy. I got some of that for you. But if you ask these guys, if you ask Joe Rogan, that bleeding heart little troll, of course I'm not racist. You talk about blah blah blah. I'm not racist. Oh, and he'd be one of the people to read off his racial resume. Oh, black guy. I'm friends with Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, blah blah blah. I've had black guys on my show. Snoop. That's what he would say. Word to the wise: if you're a white person and someone ever accuses you of being racist, do not read off your fucking criteria. Oh, my best friend, black guy. Don't give them the time of day. Shut your mouth. Just say no, I'm not. Don't be ridiculous. And also with Theo Von, he grew up around black people. Of course, Theo Von is a racist. But they sure are saying some racist shit, and their racism doesn't come in the form of some Bush beer drinking sister fucker. It comes in the form of, oh my God, it's not their fault. There's a system in place. It's against you. Well, then how did it not get you? You grew up right next door to all those little nigglets. Why didn't the system get you? It just got them. Oh, because white people and systemic. That's right, Heather. I have black friends. No, chill, guys. I have black friends. Shut your mouth. You don't need to ever fucking prove anything to anybody. If you're not, you're not. I'm not gonna tell you my past. So you, some insignificant stranger piece of shit, I'll never see again. So you like me. So you don't think I'm this. Fuck that. But this is the bigotry of low expectations. This is, oh my God, they're scared. You guys, I'm scared. I'm so glad that they said it so I can say it. I am scared. Whew, there I said it. What a weight lifted off of my scared shoulders. LDS, what up, yo? But here's the virtuous Theo Von and Joe Rogan explaining, hey, Negro, you're scared. Here's why.
Not more than ever, it feels like theater. And it feels like it's been theater for a while. And it feels like, maybe this is crazy, but it feels like we're at the last cusp before something weird is going to happen. Didn't you say something weird might happen, Jamie?
Jamie's always saying that. Jamie's always, he's tuned in.
Is he like
weird.
that?
Jamie's got an ear for weird.
Even blacks are getting scared, though.
For real?
Even blacks are getting scared, though, man. The blacks.
I don't know why we leaving Mouse's house. He been good to us. He feed us on Saturday, clothe us on Sunday, and then beat us on Monday. Or was it Tuesday?
That's right, guys. Man, I was sure scared, Master. Go home, boss.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're more scared of like the Trump movement, totalitarianism and fascism.
No? They see these ostracized, they see these communities of people out there getting abused and shit, and I think it reflects.
We scared. We're scared of fascism and totalitarianism. I'm surprised I can't even say that because I'm black. We scared. Go on, you bitches.
They see these ostracized, they see these communities of people out there getting abused and shit, and I think it reflects in them somewhere,
You mean like with ICE? Is that what you're saying?
Like,
It reflects in you, because of slavery and stuff.
Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good field hand, boss. Good field hand, massa.
That's all right, Toby. That's all right. You be a good field hand and you can stay here.
Oh, thank you, boss. Thank you, Sir Joe. Thank you, Theo. It reflects in them. They see these brown people around the world being harmed, and it reflects in black people because all we know is harm.
You see, there's a lot of brown people getting murdered on fucking TikTok all the time, like, in the Middle East, and I think you see that, and it makes them hyped up, or, it activates.
Well,
yeah, it activates something in you. You see other brown-skinned people around the world being murdered, and it just triggers something. It just activates something in you because they're brown over there, you're brown over here. So why the fuck not? Why wouldn't it trigger something in you? The blacks are scared too? No, Theo. I'm the Great Joe Rogan. I know why black people are scared. No, they're scared of Trump and fascism and totalitarianism. That's what they're scared of, fool. Nah, Joe, you're wrong. They see on TikTok. They see the brown people getting killed on TikTok, and it activates something in them. You know what it activates in me, Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn? It activates this. That's what it activates. What you said activates this, you fucking dickheads. What fucking punk ass dickheads? Oh no, they're scared. I'm not scared of shit. Certainly not scared of Trump and his fascism and his totalitarianism.
Hey, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up, fool. That's fucked up. Oh, stupid. What the man, please. Toby be good nigga, boss. That's how they see us. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, Joe. You going out there telling everybody why the niggas is scared. Thank you, boss. Scared of a fucking thing. That's what they want people to think. They're scared. It's not their fault. If you're perceived as a child, and when you act like one, it's fine. When you throw tantrums, when you act stupid, when you say stupid shit, it's not their fault. Joe Rogan's the kind of guy who would look at a video at one of those, what do they call those groups? With all the little young black teens in Chicago or some shit, just descend on somewhere and start destroying shit. He would look at that and say, oh, it's not their fault. It's because there's no system in place to blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. Punk ass. That's enough of America. Let's laugh at another country, shall we? And who would we like to laugh at more than any other country? Canada. That's right. Canada has lost their fucking mind. This is some kind of Canadian freak. And they are talking about how it is a travesty. It's appalling. Oh, I'm sorry, it's abhorrent. That's what she says. It's abhorrent. That let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 15 letters now, one plus sign at the end. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters before LGBT. Yeah, guys. So there's 7 letters even before we even get to LGBT, blah, 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 blah. Before we even get to that. And then there's an extra Q in there. What? Queer, what else is there? Is it questioning? I got a headache this big and it's screaming for Excedrin. There's another Q and then 7 letters before we get to LGBT, blah, blah, blah. Wow. Weird lady who looks like the bad lady from, what's that? What's the Disney movie with the family and their superheroes? The lady, the little bad lady with the straight bangs, a little Nazi looking chick. I think this is where they got that character from.
With the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+.
Sorry. I know that's how you all felt watching that, but we have to do it one more time. I'm sorry, miss or mister. It's ma'am. Go on.
With the ongoing genocide of MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Sorry, dog. Sorry. The genocide of the MMIWG2SL GBTQQIA plus. How many times does she have to say that to get it right? The MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA plus. That's too much. Guys, that's too much. Sorry about that. Paytar says, danger, I'm eating. Sorry about that. Some people, it is dinner time in some places right now, and I'm sorry. Sith Ewok, thank you very much for the Hamilton. I'm trying to tell you a story. Appreciate that. Good looking out. Oof. That was something. The genocide. I didn't know there was a genocide going on. Is she talking about the Canadian genocide? Is there just one going on up there? Donald Walker, that would be 16, or actually 15 letters and a plus sign. And a plus sign. MMIWGSL BTQQIA plus. Canada, you are fucking crazy. You are fucking crazy. The genocide. Wow. It is abhorrent.
With the ongoing genocide of MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+. This is abhorrent.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. But I feel gross after hearing it. That's for sure. I do feel like there's a greasy film, if you will, on my skin now, having watched that. That was terrible. But hey, we're in terrible. Let's lean into the terrible. Let's go with Gavin Newsom's first partner, not his wife. She is officially known as the first partner because, you know, patriarchy. Oh my goodness, you guys, if you thought that Gavin Newsom was bad, you haven't met his wife yet. Because you know how the saying goes, behind every weak, dildo-loving beta male is a crazy, ravenous bitch. And don't believe me. Listen for yourself. And unfortunately, this is almost 30 seconds long, so try to keep your food down.
I've given our boys dolls, even if they tear the head off. I've given them dolls to learn that care and caregiving is not just an activity that's reserved for women, but that it's also an activity that is a responsibility of men. What I've done with both my daughters and my sons is if I'm reading a book and the protagonist is a male, I just change the he to a she.
Ooh. It's good to hear that her sons are still tearing the heads off the dolls. They haven't become pussies like their father, so that's good. But I don't like the implication that men need to be taught to be kind, to be empathetic. That's not true. Children in general come with that. Children are like new phones. You know, your new phone already has about 10, 12 apps already on it. That's how kids are. They already have stuff imprinted on them. And children by nature are kind and empathetic. That doesn't need to be taught to boys. Women aren't these perfect angelic figures that need to be taught nothing. And boys are just these brute bulls in a china shop that must be civilized. Like we don't know how to use silverware, and women need to come along. No, there you go. Ooh, yeah, no, blow. There you. What the fuck are you talking about, woman? What are you insinuating? Men are kind. We are empathetic. That's why the world is the way it is. Yeah, the world's kind of fucked up. But imagine how it would be if there were no kind, empathetic men to protect women, to protect the world. Imagine if we were all deviant, psycho pieces of shit. You wouldn't want to be in this world. I bet you would. Then you're supposed to pick the bear. If all the men acted like bad men, you better pick the bear. But because there are kind, empathetic men, the bear is a stupid choice. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, and my son, we changed the protagonist. If it's a boy, we change it to a girl. That's another thing. We don't need to be taught that women can do shit. Yeah, women can do stuff. Now, do you change it to a woman if the protagonist is bad, or if it's the antagonist? If the antagonist is a male, do you make it a female? Probably not. Because you're a crazy piece of granola-headed shit. But of course she is not finished.
It's no surprise to me that the first two prominent people pushed out of this administration were women. Women are brought in, packaged Mar-a-Lago style, and lifted up as long as they commit to wholeheartedly serve the interests of the patriarch at the top. There's no secure place inside this hand-picked patriarchal body that systemically disrespects, devalues, and discriminates against women and girls. Regardless of your political affiliation, you might want to wake up and see this for what it truly is. It's a war on all women.
Ugh. I mean, I know Gavin Newsom is a spineless bitch, but dude, she is such an insufferable see you next Tuesday. And I don't use that word a lot, but my goodness. The first two people pushed out of this administration. She's talking about Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem getting the boot. It wasn't because they were women. He had them in there for over a year. You think if he was trying to placate people, just get a couple broads in there for a little while. It wouldn't have been for over a year. They were hired despite the fact that they were women in your eyes. And they were kicked out because they weren't doing their fucking job. It has nothing to do with the patriarchy. And if the patriarchy is the best way to go, let's go. It's a war on women. Ugh, how could you be with a woman like that? Now, Gavin, I'm not going to do this because it's my wifely duty to have sex with you. I'm doing this because me, as an empowered woman, wants to feel the exhilarating feeling of an orgasm. Once again, I am not engaging in sexual... Ugh, girl, never mind. Hand me that bottle of Jergens and turn the light off. I could be done already. Ugh. I'm not doing this because the patriarchy told me to. Ugh, never mind. Forget it. Ugh. How do you live with that woman? If they even live together, who knows? There's probably some nanny with an accent who raises their fucking kids for them. And they just stay in separate rooms, fucking coked out, binging on fucking Adderall and Franzia. But do you really think she believes that? Do you really think behind closed doors they believe that communist horse shit? I don't think so. I think it's a grand cabal, and they all just get together in a room and laugh at us. There's just no way. There's no way. No way. That has to be a lie. There's no way you believe that crazy shit you talk about. With our boys and the protagonist. Are you serious? Like, how do you have time for that? How do you have time to fucking, well, no, let's see. The protagonist, I have to change. Come on. You've been trying to put them in bed for 30 minutes. I got time for this shit. Lay down so I can read this story. You can go to bed. Because if you don't get at least 10 hours of sleep, you're a nightmare in the morning. What parent has time to, okay, the protagonist, get out of here with that shit. And you're not reading stories to your children. Shut the fuck up. You and your husband are out whining and dining and smoozing and kissing and licking and fucking. All kinds of powerful people around the world. You probably get passed around like a joint at Woodstock. You shitting me? You probably never had sex with Gavin Newsom. This is all just a front. This is a photo op. You guys go to drug-fueled sex parties. You're not reading stories. You're not reading bedtime stories to your children. Careful to make sure that the protagonist, if it's a boy, that you say it's a girl. Shut up. Consuela, Maria, whatever Mexican lady you got raising your fucking kids, teaching them Spanish and how to make sopes. You don't raise your children. You probably don't even speak to them. You're too busy going to those sex parties with a full belly from the French Laundry. Get the fuck out of here. You got time to raise your kids and you're going to federally funded orgies. Going to pick up your adrenochrome. Going to get some temperature-controlled, cryogenically frozen briefcase that has your fresh supply of Chinese prisoner blood. The protagonist, shut up. You don't raise your fucking kids. That's probably the biggest lie of all. That you raise your kids. Okay. The people raising your kids speak Spanish. They speak Spanish. Hey, come here. Little mejito. In the kitchen. If you know, you know. Every single one of those damn songs in the same. Come on, mijo. Ay, you can dance. That's what they're doing. They're like PETA in Man on Fire. Gardeners, the maids. Hey, come on, PETA. Hey, good job. Hey, my friend. Ven aquí, güerita. That's what your kids are doing. You ain't raising your fucking kids reading no bedtime stories. Your kids are eating fucking beans and rice right now. Fuck out of here. I read stories to my kids and the protagonist is a male and you can have female. Oh, there are people talking about this shit. This shiza. The automatic draft is coming to a theater near you December 2026. That's right. What is draft age? Automatic military draft registration. What to know? This is according to USA Today. Definitely a right down the middle, non-politically leaning news outlet, publication. Oops. Fuck. Okay, what do you need to know? Is your young son going to be taken and kidnapped in the middle of the night and put into Trump's military to fight wars in Iran? Registration with the Selective Service System has been mandatory for decades. However, the U.S. military draft will soon become an automatic registration process by the federal government for young men. Here's the who, when, and what to know about draft age, exemptions, and how it would work. Amidst the ongoing war in Iran, several changes in the military have been announced in recent months, including the Army raising the age limit from 35 to 42 for new recruits and a new rule passed by Congress in December for automatic registration for the draft with selective service that will take effect this year. Federal law requires most males between 18 and 25 years of age register with the Selective Service System in case Congress and the president were to authorize a military draft. Failure to register is considered a felony, punishable by a fine of up to $250,000 and or 5 years imprisonment. While no military draft has been called in the U.S., White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is not ruling out American troops on the ground in Iran or a military draft. President Donald Trump wisely doesn't move options off the table, adding the president, as commander-in-chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely wants to keep this option on the table. As of early April, over 50,000 U.S. troops are currently in the Middle East on base and at sea, while a reported 13 American service members have died and over 380 troops have been reportedly wounded thus far in the Iran war. The last time a draft call was issued in the United States was in 1972 during the Vietnam War. There has been no draft at present. Here's what to know about the Selective Service Automatic Military Draft Registration. Who is required to register for selective service? A new rule passed by Congress in December will automatically register all eligible male U.S. citizens or dual citizens residing in the United States or living abroad, and male immigrants, including permanent residents, refugees, asylum seekers, and undocumented residing in the United States that are legally required to register for the selective service if they are between 18 and 25 years of age, according to Selective Service. Excluding females and those already on active duty with the armed forces or those that are hospitalized or institutionalized. Yeah, so they're not going to bust open the prisons. Women are still exempt and not required to register for selective service, nor does it accept voluntary registration from women. Where are the feminists? Where are the ones beating down the recruiters' door and say, hey, we want to go and die just like the men? Crickets. Got it. Congress approved the automatic registration for the draft as part of the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, signed into law by President Donald Trump on December 18, 2025. According to the Selective Service website, the statutory change transfers responsibility for registration from individual men to the SSS through integration with federal data sources, resulting in a streamlined registration process and corresponding workforce realignment. Adding, the agency will modernize legacy conscription applications to ensure secure, reliable systems are ready in the event of a national emergency. So basically, I'll say who can be drafted. Only men 18 through 25 are residents, including immigrants, refugees, undocumented. Women cannot be drafted according to the current law. Although they can volunteer to fight in a war, they would not be considered in a draft. Okay, so basically what they're doing is taking out the middleman. They're not leaving it up to you to fill out the little card that comes in the mail and send it back. They're just going to register you automatically, which everybody should be doing anyway. And if anything, it's going to get more people to register because people aren't going to be able to say, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. I don't have a problem with it. I joined the military when I was 18. I remember filling out my fucking the draft card or whatever you want to call it. Fuck it. It's what you have to do. If your country goes to war and you're a young, able-bodied, war-age man, you get your ass over there and go to war. Fortunately, I've aged out. I'm older than 42. But I don't have a problem with it. I think every young man should serve a couple years. I don't like the idea of illegals having to sign up for it because you don't think enough of this country to become a citizen the right way. Then fuck that. I don't want you fighting next to me. Would you want to be in the foxhole next to some fucking illegal? No thanks. Can't even fucking understand what they're saying. No thank you. You don't love this country? No thank you. But yeah, that's been like that forever. You have to register for the draft. This is just taking out the middleman. I don't have a problem with it. A friend of mine who is very anti-Israel, to put it lightly, they send me this shit. Oh, you know, Trump, he's Netanyahu's bitch, and Israel runs America, and all this kind of stuff. And he sent me that, saying that the draft age is registering for the draft is automatic now, implying that, oh, you know, there's going to be a draft. And I said, well, how long we've been fighting over there in that fucking sandbox? Going all the way back to 1989, the first Gulf War, when I was in 5th grade. I'm going to be 46 years old this year. When I was in 5th grade, we kicked off the first Gulf War and smashed Saddam Hussein in like 3 weeks. So that's where it all started. That's where the war in the Middle East started for us. Then you got 9/11 and all the skirmishes in between, us fucking around in Mogadishu and all that stuff. Now the Mogadishu is not the Middle East, but fucking around over in that part of the world. And then we got 9/11. So now we're back over there because of 9/11, Iraqi freedom, weapons of mass destruction, Al Qaeda. We're messing around over there for 20 plus years. There was no draft then. So why would Trump have a draft now? And he said, well, basically, Trump's going to do whatever Israel tells him to do. If Israel wants Americans to die, that's what Trump's going to do. That's literally what he told me. But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Why didn't we have a draft then? If Israel's in charge, then it doesn't matter who the figurehead is here in America. And you mean to tell me Trump or Bush would be more difficult to control than Trump? Or unless what he's saying is true, that this whole Trump being a boss and not having people tell him what the fuck to do, and he's going to do what he thinks is best for America, blah, blah, blah. That's all an act. That's a lie. Trump really isn't like that. He is a puppet for Israel, for Netanyahu. So the brash, uncouth Trump that we see, that's a front. He's really just a whimpering tail between his leg bitch boy for Israel. And again, we had a 20 plus year war in the early 2000s, all the way to recently. Pulled out Afghanistan a few years ago, which there have been better pullouts on prom night. The first Gulf War, I'm sure Israel was in charge then. I'm sure Israel's been in charge of America, according to them, has been in charge of America since before 1989. So why not the draft in the first Gulf War? Why not the draft? How many Americans could Israel have had taken in a 20-year war? Could have been thousands upon thousands of dead Americans. Why didn't Israel want that then? Why just Iran now? And shit has to get really bad for there to be a draft. So you're saying that Trump is going to enact the draft before it gets to that point, just so there's bodies to put in the meat grinder. So he cooked up the story and threw the 6 of us in the meat grinder. Used to be somebody you could trust. Huh? Is that what's happening? Talk to me, Goose. People in the chats, talk to me. There's 106 people watching. I don't know how many people are in the chat. Talk to me and explain to me why we didn't have the draft in a 20-year war in the very same sandbox that we're in now. But now, Trump is such a bitch and such a lapdog for Israel that now we're going to have the draft. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm not smart enough to understand. That's possible too. Gino says, was Israel in charge when Obama dropped 36,000 bombs in Libya? I think they were. I don't think we'll have a draft either, Heather. I don't know. If so, Trump is the greatest con man we've ever seen. Carlos, I will say Israel has way too much power and pull here in America. Agreed, 100%. Agreed. What up, Legal Alien? Todd Adams, shout out to your son. Please tell him that he has nothing but love and support here at home, and I hope he comes back to you the same way he left you. Jay Doggedy says there's going to be an NFL draft soon, huh? Yeah, be here all week. Be sure to tip your waitress and try to veal. Bad Billy, what up, man? Hope you're doing well too, man. I got to be on your show again. Thanks for the retweets too, by the way. I don't see there being a draft either. And I do think Israel has way too much influence here. I've said before, I don't like that dual citizenship. That's absolute bullshit nonsense. You can't be loyal to two masters. You cannot do two things equally at the same time. Something will suffer. And I don't want it to be us. Especially now with all this shit going on, all these dealings you have with Israel and October 7th. Fuck all that. You're either a citizen in America or you're not. If you're an elected official, you're a regular citizen, I don't give a shit. If you're an elected official, fuck you. And if you are a regular citizen and you have dual citizenship with another country, I don't know. I look at you different than an immigrant who doesn't, to be honest. To be honest, I just don't. That's not possible. And if you don't have total allegiance, sole allegiance to America, you're not a real American citizen. Literally, you're not an American citizen because you're a citizen of another country too. How is that? If that's how it works, fellas, tell your wife, I'm married to you. I'm gonna go marry another woman too. I'll treat you both the same. I'll love you both the same. What's the problem? Why are you crying? Why are you crying and breaking stuff? Put my clothes. Why are you getting a lighter? Don't call your mom. What's the problem? I'm just going to marry another chick. I'm just going to sleep with another woman and have kids with her. What the fuck's your problem? You women, I don't get it. I don't get it. Bad Billy says, Jericho, I'd love to hear your thoughts on DeCarlos Brown being declared unfit to stand trial for the murder. Yeah, that poor woman, that poor Ukrainian woman. What a horrible video. I heard that he wasn't. So I'll bite my tongue on that for now. But last I heard he wasn't declared unfit. So from a credible source. I don't like that. I don't like that shit. The way I see it, the way I see American citizenship is the same way that people warm up before they sing. What do they do? Me. That's right. Me. America. Me. Us. Fuck everybody else. You kidding? How can you get a citizenship in another country, loyalty to another country? It's not possible. Just like if you go in the kitchen right now and tell your wife that you're going to marry another woman, she's not going to be like, no, I get it. You want me to go? Should I help you pick her out? You want me to go with you? You know what? I'll stay here. I'll make you a hot meal, and I'll make sure I'm laying in the bed with my butt in the air when you get home. Have fun. Happy hunting. Mwah. Yeah, right. If you just picture that in your mind, your alarm clock is about to go off, and you're going to wake up because that was a fucking dream. That was a dream. That was a fantasy. Okay, that's one of the fantasies that they'll implant in your mind at the fucking Total Recall Center. All right, that's some dream, some fantasy you're gonna live out at Total Recall. That's not gonna happen. Your wife's gonna lose her shit, and it's all gonna fall apart. And then your kids are gonna come visit you in a 1-bedroom apartment every Friday and Saturday. Get out of here with that shit. Heather Berry says Elon is African. Well, the same goes for him. I will look at him differently than an immigrant who is, well, I know he's born and raised in Africa, but is he an African citizen? Is he a citizen of South Africa, or is he an American citizen? If he's an American citizen, it's all good. If he's an American and South African citizen, then it is not. That's the truth. That's the truth, Ruth. Will Kamala be back? Will Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, be back as president? And what would this look like? What would this, well, first of all, this war in Iran wouldn't be happening if Kamala were president. because she would still be dumping all of our resources into Ukraine because we're gonna back Ukraine as long as it takes. That's what that feeble old fucking porridge brain invalid said that was in the White House for the last 4 years. That's what he said until the end. But I hope the Straits of Hormuz, I hope they open back up and stay open. I hope the ceasefire lasts. I know that Trump said on Tuesday by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if they did not agree to a ceasefire, that he was going to wipe out their civilization. He was going to take out their bridges and their electrical grids, all their infrastructure. He was going to send them back to the Stone Age. And the day before that, he sent out a tweet or a Truth Social post saying, open the fucking straits, you crazy bastards. He was pleading with them to avoid this, pleading with them to avoid being bombed into oblivion. And there's nothing they could do about it. I don't care how many F-15s that they shot down or whatever. You're not going to stop those B-2s from flying way out of range of your missiles and your anti-aircraft, whatever. And just if you hear the whistle, it's too late. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about all of that happening at the same time, because I'm sure that's what they would have done. They would have hit all targets at the same time, stretched their defense systems paper thin, and just fucked them up. China was involved. Pakistan was involved, because China gets 80% of their oil from Iran, and they get a lot of their oil from, was it Iran? I think 80% from Iran, and a sizable amount of it from Venezuela. Who controls Venezuela? Who's about to not control the oil out of Iran, but definitely control the Straits of Hormuz, how all the oil gets in and out of there and the other goods. It's going to be us, because everything that Trump does has our benefit in there somewhere. Just like Venezuela getting 300 million barrels of oil, taking control of their oil production. We're starting to refine it now. We're starting to refine it and turn it into usable petroleum. What does that mean? It means two things: the Chinese brothers, Che and Ching. That means money, money, money. That means less taxes that we have to pay, more money coming in from somewhere else. Now, those stupid stimulus checks that we got that we had to pay taxes on, that was bullshit. I did not agree with that. But if you're talking about something I don't have to pay taxes on, and it totally comes from outside sources from other countries paying me, yeah, give me those every week. If it's coming from these countries who've been bending us over the barrel, and you know what? I can't even say they were bending over. We were bending over. Our own government was bending us over and stretching our distended, star-spangled anus for the rest of the world to just go, oh, America. Oh, you are so tight, America. Next foreign leader, America. Who's next? America. And we're just like, harder. No, if it's coming from you fucks who've been robbing us blind for years, yeah, pay up China, pay up UK, pay up whoever, pay up Europe, pay up all of Asia. Yeah, gimme. I want those checks every week. I want tariffs through the roof. There was a time where we didn't have tax. We didn't have federal income tax and all that bullshit. It was paid for by other countries through imports. Are they still importing shit? Hey, I'm no historian, but I'm willing to bet we're importing more now from other countries than we were in 17-something. Make them pay. Why are we footing the bill? Start giving me money. How many times we made it rain on those other fucking countries? How many times have other countries probably taken money they've gotten from us and given it to their citizens and said it was from them? I'm tired of making it rain on the rest of the world. Make it rain on me. It's time for the American taxpayer to be a popular stripper. Make it rain on me. I just want to lay there like Flashdance, and I want all that money to just rain down upon my American tax-paying ass. I want to look like a Somali daycare owner. I want to have fur coats and jewels on my fingers and around my neck and Rolls Royces as far as the eye can see. Why can't I have that? Why can't I have a Range Rover on some other country's dime? Why can't I ball out on another country's dime? I want to be on the rest of the world's EBT. I want to be going through the supermarket buying all kinds of shit I can't even pronounce because I'm not paying for it. Zimbabwe's paying for it, or some other African country we've been feeding for 100 years, and you guys still starving. You still got bloated stomachs and flies around your mouth. What did Sam Kinison say? You see this? Huh? It's sand. You know what it's going to be in 100 years? Sand. You can't grow food here. You guys keep chopping each other up with machetes. But here we are, dumping money. Dump some money on us. Who is that, Def Leppard? Pour some sugar on me. Pour some sugar on me, rest of the world. Pay my bills. Why don't you start paying for our stupid programs that mean nothing? Gino, don't apologize for nothing. Why don't you pay for our stupid, dumb programs? Why don't you pay for our citizens to get their dick and balls chopped off for no reason? Why don't you pay for our stupid Sesame Street over here? Fucking bullshit. All our shit should be paid for. Social Security should not be in danger. People should be looking forward to retiring in America. I can't wait to be 65 because I'm going to have a fat check coming in until I die, courtesy of the rest of the world. Imagine that. Imagine the rest of the world paying for all of our shit, all of our social programs no longer in danger because the rest of it. You mean to tell me 190 some countries can't pay for one country? Oh, we've helped you all. Yeah, we've helped you all. You haven't been invaded in about 250 years, right? Yeah, because we got a military base there keeping your bitch ass safe. We put the McDonald's there. We knocked the wall down so you can see your, whatever the Russian word is for grandma that you haven't seen since you were 4. We did that. We keep you safe. We keep your economy going. We pay for your bullshit, Ukraine. You're over there selling pierogies during wartime because of us. Your young people are overdosing on ecstasy in a nightclub in the middle of a war because of us. Because we're paying for everything. There are literally people over there they're owning boutiques, selling vintage clothing during a war because of us. Because we allow your feckless leader to come over here and give up his mouth and butt for more money. I bet you when Zelensky comes over here, when Biden was in office, it was probably some weird sex party shit in a basement in San Francisco overseen by Nancy Pelosi with a bottle of vodka in one hand and an S&M whip in the other. Probably some real sick shit. He had to ride back home on his private jet sitting on a bag of ice. And we're footing the bill for all that bullshit. Foot our bills. Damn it. So sick of this bullshit. We pay for the rest of the world, but when it's time to come fight, when it's time to come pay, oh shit, America, I left my wallet. Oh, I left my wallet in my other weird foreign clothing suit. Justin Desroches, he said, this has been an amazing live stream, JG. Perfect for my ride home after work and a walk with the dog. Hey, man, when people invite you into their life to walk with their dog, you made it. Like the dumb cop said in Boondock Saints, thanks for coming out. All right, people, that's it. Oh, shit. I got to get going. My wife and I and some of our friends were going to see Chris Tucker tonight at the casino. So let you guys know how that goes. Yeah, I didn't realize what time it was. All right, folks. Appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate your time, your concerns, your questions, your comments, and your money. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Come out.